Ladies and gentlemen, welcome today to another edition of a predictions video on the channel. Just a headshot, I guess, with this one. I don't really have a great setup in my room, but we are getting set. We are just a few hours away at the time of recording this from heading to the Bristol Motor Speedway for the Bass Pro Shops NRA Bristol Night Race for the NASCAR Cup Series. Great racing action all throughout the weekend so far with the ARCA, the trucks, and especially that Xfinity race last night. You can see the vlog that is already on the channel, as well as the finish itself on another video. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Getting to give you guys the fantasy advice for this weekend at the Bristol Motor Speedway. You can also join our fantasy league on the NASCAR mobile app or website. Go to fantasy, search for KRC League, KRC in all caps, League with a capital L, and it is free to join. And we're going to have some fun here today. So, starting off with the don't-haves, the sleepers, and the must-have picks, drivers that I think that should be in your lineup, shouldn't be in your lineup, potential sleeper picks for maybe a garage pick as well for tonight's race at Bristol. First and foremost, so we have to recap exactly how I did last weekend. And last weekend at Richmond, I was hit or miss. I did predict the winner correctly. I did say Martin Truex Jr. was my win pick. He went on to win the race. The two must-haves I had last week finished 1-2. Of course, Martin Truex Jr., who was my win pick. And then Denny Hamlin finished in second place. Said they were going to contend for the win. They obviously did. As far as the sleeper picks go, I was wrong on both of these in saying that they were going to get top 10s, but they ran there most of the night. So I was very close on that prediction, with Austin Dillon finishing 11th. Eric Almirola, until that pit road speeding penalty, ended up in 14th. Or no, it wasn't a pit road speeding penalty. Loose wheel after the final pit stop of the race. So unfortunately, even though he was running 6th or 7th most of the day, he ended up finishing 14th. Also, with the don't-haves, I was wrong on both these, saying these two drivers were not going to finish in the top 10. Very, very close to predicting Blaney did not finishing in the top 10 last week. He got a 10th place finish. Actually passed Austin Dillon with just a couple laps to go in the race to get back inside the top 10 late. And then Chase Elliott, I was way wrong on him. He had a fast car, contended for the win, ended up coming back to finish in 4th place. So, definitely hit or miss last week. Nailed it with the must-haves, the sleeper picks, and the don't-haves. I was kind of close, but for the most part, we'll see how this week goes. Darlington, I pretty much nailed everything right on the head. And then last week, it was kind of hit or miss. So let's see if I can go right back to the way I had it at Darlington. Starting off with the don't-haves, as we usually do, I'm going to have two drivers that you should stay away from tonight. One of which, even though this team has been dominant so far in the playoffs, is Martin Truex Jr. I think Martin Truex Jr. will not get a top 10 finish tonight. Looking at his Bristol career stats, he has 3 top 10 finishes in 30 career Bristol starts. That is not good whatsoever. He's also got 1 top 10 in the last 17 career races at Bristol. It is not good whatsoever at this racetrack for him. Yes, he won the dirt truck race earlier this season. The dirt surface compared to this surface you're going to see tonight is nowhere close. You can't even compare the two. So don't look at that as, well, he was fast in the dirt race this year. And he is good on short tracks, but the short tracks he is good on is Richmond and Martinsville. He is not good at all at Bristol. It's a much different track than those two, a lot faster, higher banked. So just not a good combination there for him, which is weird because he's really good at Dover. And I feel like those two tracks between Dover and here are kind of similar. Obviously, Dover's a lot faster too, but for whatever reason, Martin Truex Jr. just does race well here at Bristol. So I don't think he's going to get a top 10 tonight. He is locked into the next round, so no need to really worry if you're a Martin Truex Jr. fan. He did win last week to lock himself in. Brad Keselowski is the next driver on my don't-haves list tonight. He also, although has success with 3 career wins at Bristol, they came really early in his career. Particularly, it was when the high line was the preferred lane at Bristol. Now it's kind of both, where the race kind of starts off at the bottom, then moves up. The groove moves up over the course of the race. And Brad Keselowski, for whatever reason, since that has been the track at Bristol since 2016, has not ran well here. He's only got 2 top 10 finishes in the last 10 Bristol races. I know he won the spring race last year, but he did get put into a situation where Chase Elliott and Logano took each other out right in front of him to get him in that position to win. But again, only 2 top 10s in the last 10 Bristol races. That's not good. Only 4 top 10 finishes in the last 15 races at Bristol. not good for Brad Keselowski. He needs to have not a super solid day, but a decent day if he's going to want to get into the next round. He comes in double-digit points ahead of the cutoff line, but drivers that are behind him in points that do run pretty well here would include Kyle Busch, of course. I think he could be a potential win pick tonight. And some of those other, Kurt Busch as well is really good at Bristol. So he's going to need, I don't think he's going to have to get the top 10. I don't think he's going to get it. If he could just score a few stage points here and there and he can get a top 15 finish, I think he'll skim his way into the next round. But that was my prediction even coming into the round, was that I didn't think he was going to perform too well in this round, but I still thought he was going to slide into the playoffs on just a few points, and that seems like it's shaping up to be that way. We'll just have to see what goes on tonight. But Keselowski, Truex, I don't have either one of those two guys in the top 10 for tonight's race at Bristol. Sleeper picks for tonight, we're going to stick plain and simple with the Chevys, more particularly the Chip Ganassi Racing Chevrolets. Ross Chastain has been on a tear with the 750 package, whether it's been an oval or a road course. His last 4 finishes on the oval 750 tracks would include tonight 7th, 3rd, 8th, and 2nd. Ross Chastain is tearing it up. He's off to a hot start, obviously, in the playoff races, finishing 7th and 3rd. I know he didn't make the playoffs, but he's out to try and get that first career win. He has been fairly close, at least at Darlington, and he was pretty competitive last week as well. I think he'll be competitive again this week. I think he'll be the highest running non-playoff driver once again, and I do think he will get a top 10 finish. Another driver who I think is going to get a top 10 is Kurt Busch, his teammate, as I kind of mentioned. Kurt Busch is a 6-time winner at Bristol. He just won the Bristol night race 3 years ago in 2018 with Stewart-Haas Racing. He also has 5 top 10 finishes in the last 7 Bristol races, 4 top 10 finishes in the last 5 Bristol races. Not only he won that Bristol night race in 2018, but in 2019 in the spring race, he also finished 2nd. So he is still very, very good at Bristol. I expect him to get a top 10 run tonight. And if things align right, maybe he could be there in the top 5 at the end of the race. But overall goal, I think for him, top 10 finish. He comes into this race only 1 point above the cutoff line, so he's going to need to have a pretty solid night. I'm not saying he's got to go out there and get a bunch of stage wins, but just in case a guy like Byron or somebody else like that below the cutoff line, Bowman, can get a win tonight, and he's going to have to be on his best game or very well near it if he's going to get into the next round. I think he will be able to do that, and I think Kurt Busch will make it to the next round after tonight's race. And now into the must-have picks. These 2 drivers you should absolutely have on your fantasy lineups tonight, and that would be Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch. I think it could very well be the Kyle and Kyle show. Once again, we've seen that in the Xfinity Series a lot here back in the past. Not so much in the Cup Series, but we have seen them finish 1-2 in the Cup Series before. As far as Kyle Larson's stats at Bristol go, he's got 5 top 10s in his last 6 races at Bristol, on the concrete, of course. 2 runner-up finishes in 2018. He has led over 200 or more laps in 2 of his last 5 Bristol races. The one note with Kyle Larson, it seems like the day races at Bristol, he runs better than the night races, but that was, again, with Chip Ganassi Racing, which I think is going to be fast tonight, but regardless of the fact, Hendrick Motorsports has been the best team from start to finish to here. I know Joe Gibbs Racing has won the last 2 races, but as a whole, collectively, Hendrick Motorsports has still been the team to beat. Specifically, that number 5 team with Kyle Larson has been the team to beat this season. There's a reason why he's got the most wins this year. I think he can go out and compete for a win tonight. He is not my win pick, but I would not be surprised if he ran top 5 throughout the course of the night and led a lot of laps. I'm sure he'll get a bunch of stage points. He also was locked into the next round based off of points, so he can basically go for broke. But with the way it is with the short tracks, you don't want to have to short pit anyway, so it's not like he'll be in the top 10 as long as he stays out of trouble at that point. He'll have the speed, and it's not like he's going to sacrifice stage points, because there's really going to not really be a scenario where that could even happen to begin with. Kyle Busch is going to be the next must-have pick today. Kyle Busch is the best driver at Bristol in the NASCAR Cup Series today. He's got 8 career wins there, most of any current driver. He's got 6 top 4 finishes in the last 7 Bristol starts he has had, and he has also led over 100 laps in 4 of the last 6 Bristol night races. Roles reverse. Kyle Busch seems to be better in the night races than the day races. Larson seems to be better in the day races than the night races. You look at Bristol having 2 night races last year with the All-Star race and the night race in the playoffs. Same spot it is this weekend. This year, Kyle Busch finished 2nd in both. Kyle Busch is my win pick for tonight. I think he will obviously get a top 10 with that, but he is my win pick tonight. We'll see if I can go back-to-back. I got 6 wins correct this year. Last year I had 9 at the end of the season. We still got 8 races to go. I can get 3 to tie at least. And I'm very confident about my win pick here tonight. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Again, join the league. And also, comment down below, who do you think is going to win tonight's Bristol night race? On top of that, who maybe will be in your fantasy lineup? Don't forget to join. Have fun watching the race tonight. Vlog will be out on the channel tomorrow from tonight's Cup action. You can check the vlogs for the Xfinity and the Truck Series action on the channel as well. Thanks for watching.